What up, world? Established Rich coming right back at you. This Kendrick Lamar Super Bowl performance has people divided. I got a phone call from my mom this morning, and her first question was, "What did you think about the Super Bowl performance?" And I told her that I loved it, and she says, "Well, it seems like it's kind of controversial. I watched it, and I couldn't understand a lot of what he was saying, and I knew one of those songs. I knew the Luther song, and of course, I knew Not Like Us, but I don't know." She was like, and I started explaining to her that there was a lot of symbolism in the performance, and it was very gratifying for his fans. But as Kendrick Lamar fans, we've been dealing with this for years, where he's so polarizing that if you're a Kendrick Lamar fan and someone is not, it's hard to explain to them why you're such a fan of his and why his music is so genius and brilliant. But let me just go over what went on last night. Kendrick Lamar made history on February 9th as the first solo artist to headline a Super Bowl halftime show at Caesars Superdome in New Orleans. His 13-minute performance was a blend of high-energy showmanship and thought-provoking themes, solidifying hip-hop's place in mainstream America. The show commenced with Lamar and his dancers emerging from a 1980s Buick Regal onto a stage designated to resemble a giant PlayStation controller. Actor Samuel Jackson, portraying Uncle Sam, provided humorous commentary throughout, adding a layer of satire to the performance. Lamar's set list featured a mix of new material and fan favorites, including Humble, DNA, Euphoria, Man at the Garden, and Peekaboo. He was joined by SZA for their collaborations Luther and All of the Stars. A notable highlight was his performance of the Grammy-winning diss track, Not Like Us, aimed at Drake. Lamar censored the controversial PDF file lyric, but the audience passionately chanted the A minor line. And that's kind of a summary of what happened last night, not to mention Serena Williams. That was another question my mom had. What is Serena? Because the issue is that my mom called me on Friday, and she was asking about Kendrick Lamar because she saw him on the 6 o'clock news and about how controversial his performance was going to be. And then that morning before the halftime show, she saw a video of the things Kendrick Lamar said about Drake. So her question was, what is wrong with Kendrick Lamar? Why is he doing this to Drake? Why is he being so mean to Drake? And I took the time out to explain to her the things that Drake had said and that Kendrick Lamar was retaliating for those things. And it was a rap battle. And, in battle rap, people say things about people that may or may not be true. You're just trying to, it's like a joning session. I tried to explain that to her. And it seems like the older generation is kind of having a problem with the lyrics. I think some of the symbolism they don't get. And let me play this clip of Officer Tatum. Got a lot of respect for Officer Tatum. I just wanted to reply to some of the things that he said on his show. Let's check out this clip.
This guy is the fakest activist on planet Earth. And it bothers me because he'll call girls bees and talk about shooting them up and all this degenerate stuff, but then try to say black power, black power, black power. I don't get it. Think about the song that they played during halftime. His most probably famous song is him dissing Drake. And he's talking crazy and talking violent in the song. Does he seem like a role model for young black people? This is why it bothers me so much. Because we can't get John Batista, whatever his name is, Baptista, whatever his name. That dude to me is very professional, honorable black man singing the national anthem, playing the instruments. I like that vibe. That's what black people are to me. Very talented, but somebody who is reasonable. I don't think he's out getting in trouble, going to jail, representing the hood and doing gang signs and all this old crazy stuff. That to me is the representation I like to see of black men. There's a lot of good black men that are very smart, have a lot of accomplishment, that add a lot of value, that are good men, good fathers, you name it. There's a lot of black people in the music industry, acting, and you name it, that are associated. But why do we showcase the worst of the black community and then get mad when we get judged? I don't know if we have the clip of some of the performance from Kendrick Lamar, but there was a scene where all these dudes on the corner doing this with gold teeth in their mouth and dreads, and it's like you're glorifying what? The hood. But then when you go to the hood, this is where a lot of black young men go to die. This is where drugs go to be sold. This is the lowest of the low denominator in our community. Most black people don't live in the hood. Most black people are in the middle class, to be honest. But this is what you're celebrating and you're exacerbating. And then you wonder why a brother with dreads is looked upon like a thug, because this is what y'all showing us to be. It's a minstrel show, which Samuel is a part of it. Roll the clip.
Now, you heard what he said. I disagree with a lot of what he said. I don't think he's part of the hip hop culture. So that, bottom line means that he's not going to get 99% of what an artist like Kendrick Lamar does. He's used to seeing surface level rap. And you guys know what I mean by that. The Sexy Reds, the Glorrillas, the Boss Man D-Los, Cardi B's. People are they are what you see. There's no deeper surface. What they're showing you is not to get you to see something different. That's not that. And an artist like Kendrick Lamar actually uses this art to convey a message. And that hasn't been done in so long. People don't really know how to accept it. You have to look at an artist like Prince, an artist like Michael Jackson, an artist like Beyonce. But when it comes to an artist like Kendrick Lamar, he's not going to be afforded, that same opportunity. And hip hop has always been rebellious. I told my mom that. I said, I'm glad you don't like it, because growing up, the hip hop I listened to, you didn't like it then. You didn't like it back in the 90s, when I was listening to it. So the fact that you call me now and tell me that you don't like what you're hearing, that makes me proud of hip hop. It makes me proud. Every person that says that they don't like it, it lets me know that they're not part of the hip hop culture. You're used to surface level, see what you get type of artists. And Kendrick Lamar is truly an artist who uses not only his music, but his visuals, even his fashion, to convey, a deeper message. And he made a remark that Kendrick was calling women bees, and that he was even threatening to kill women. That's what I heard, and I don't think Officer Tatum meant that, in that type of way. But if he followed Kendrick Lamar, he would know that Kendrick Lamar, since 2022, has told us, I am not your savior. LeBron James is not your savior. This one is not your savior. But he says, Kendrick Lamar says, shoot him up, bang, bang. And then he throws up a Black Power fist and screams Black Power. That's so disingenuous. And all of us who know Kendrick Lamar know that's not true. No, that's not true. I really wish that Officer Tatum would have taken more research, or maybe he's taken a position that he knows is popular amongst his demographic. But I really feel like, he missed the entire point of the performance, because he's taking a hard stance, just like some of these politicians do. He's taking a hard stance, and his job is to go with his audience. He has a large audience. I couldn't see him, even if he did see any positivity in it. He went straight for the cliches about hip hop. He shoots up people. He's talking about killing people. What he says in that song is horrible. But you say that when you don't understand the culture when it comes to an artist like Kendrick Lamar. So what he's saying may be true for a lot of other artists, but us inside the culture know Kendrick Lamar is the furthest thing from an artist who promotes that lifestyle. So he's a guy who probably just heard this album from Kendrick Lamar, and he's giving his opinion on, this album and this performance. But, I have one question for Officer Tatum. You're wearing a Donald Trump shirt. Is Donald Trump a role model? Has every message and everything Donald Trump done been role model worthy and he's the president of the United States? Just my opinion. What's yours? Like, comment, subscribe, establish rich. I'll be back with another one. You know how I do it. Peace.